Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Aaron Glenn has made a gigantic decision that impacts the Jets starters, not just on Friday, but throughout the remainder of the Jet preseason. Did Glenn get it right? We'll talk about that. Plus, Jets Bucks joint practice. Another day is underway. Omari Brown was there yesterday. He's going to join us to recap what he saw. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started.
We sitting in here, we excited as hell.
Now it's time to get to work. Are you a happy guy?
Oh my goodness, let's go!
I haven't felt joy talking about the Jets in a long time. When they announced it, I went, yeah! Jets, let's go! A new chapter for the Jets has started. Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji are tasked with shaping the future of this franchise. Will they be the ones to finally get it right? We will be here for every step of the journey on the Jake Asman Show, breaking down all the storylines, every game, and everything in between. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chats, baby. Cut the line. The Jake Asman Show starts right now.
Here we go, Jet fans. Welcome in, everyone. It is indeed the Jake Asman Show, presented by PrizePicks. Programming note, really Asmaniac note. We are down to just the last couple of tickets for the Dolphins at Jets Asmaniac meetup on October 25th at MetLife Stadium. 59 of the 70 tickets have been allocated. So if you want to join us in section 146 for $146 a ticket, and get a post-game field pass to go on the MetLife Stadium field afterwards for a group photo, make sure you sign up for the Patreon if you're not already on there, and you click the link once you sign up to reserve your tickets and send the payment through the link that is all posted, and you will be good to go. We will open up the link to the general public if we have any left over, but we only have 11 left, so I feel pretty good about our chances of filling out the 70 for the annual Asmaniac group buy outing at MetLife. Again, patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. Make sure you sign up. Big shout out to Call It Out, Future Mrs. Rogers, Robbie Regano, Dom Sorrow, Amos Johnson, Nova Jet, Peter Palazzotto, Mario Solinsky, Mad Team Jet Fan, and Fat Bulldog for being our most recent Patreon subscribers. Right now, we say hello to a good friend of the program. He is Omari Brown from JetX. Omari, what was it like to be out there yesterday watching the Jets and the Bucks have their first of two joint practices?
Morning, Jake. How you doing? It was good. It felt good, man. It's we're getting to that point of the year where you wake up and it just smells like football. Like you got the morning dew, you got grown men in pads, and we're watching them run into each other. So it was really good. And we'll get into that. I know that some people like to track stats for practice, but I thought that it looked good. Let's just get right into it. I mean, the Jets are 2 for 2 in their last first round picks. I think Armand Membu and David Bailey are absolute franchise cornerstones, and it's good to see that the Jets aren't getting pushed around. For the last couple of years during a lot of these joint practices, I feel like the Jets were just getting taken out to the woodshed, and I think the physicality is there. And I think this feels like more of a Glenn team and more so than a Robert Saleh, Joe Douglas holdover team. So, and it's funny because, one thing that Connor Rogers said, I don't want to steal, I'm going to steal a little bit of his thunder. The new guys that are starting fights, these guys, they're not used to being pushed around in Jets jerseys. Like Armand Membu was snatching off helmets and he's putting Ruben Bain in the dirt. Darryl Jackson Jr. is flinging helmets and throwing punches. And again, you don't want to do too much of that. You got to reel it in. And David Bailey, he's pissing off Luke Gedeke, who's one of the better right tackles in the league. So it does feel good that the guys that we're excited about and we want to be excited about are actually showing that when it matters in between those white lines, that they're going to be physical and that they're actually good.
I think it's a really good point by you and Connor, because if you look at it, the Jets last year, how many times did they just get embarrassed? How many times did they just get punked? And I think one of the defining moments for me personally, as someone who really is a huge believer in Armand Membu, was against the Patriots as the Jets were getting their asses kicked, especially in the first half. At the end of the half, Armand Membu was getting into a fight with the entire Patriots defensive line. Like, he felt like he got cheap shotted and he wasn't going to stand for that, and he was going to stick up for himself. And he still showed that he cared and had a fire and a passion in a game where the Jets were losing by 30 points. That mattered to me. Like, the Jets have been clowned for far too long with the previous group of players. You bring in guys like Demario Davis, you bring in guys like Micah Fitzpatrick, David Onyemata. You bring in these guys, they're not going to just sit there and allow the Jets to be clowned like they were as many times as they were a year ago. So I like the fact that Membu is not afraid to get into it with the Bucs. I like the fact that David Bailey is not afraid to get into it with the Bucs. This stuff matters, man. If you're trying to change the culture, like any chance Aaron Glenn has of doing that, you need your young players to be hard asses, to be those type of like hard-nosed players. And I like hearing, some of the stuff coming out about Bailey and Membu from yesterday.
Yeah, and you said something really good, Jay, because like the guy, it's way different when Michael Clemens is starting to fight than when David Bailey is starting to fight.
Right.
No disrespect to Michael Clemens, he's
I'll say it, disrespect intended to Michael Clemens.
All disrespect to Michael Clemens. But yeah, it's different when the better players on your team are also, not just the fake tough guys, they're real tough guys, and they're just not going to be pushed around. Like, they're not going to start a fight, but they're going to finish it. And, another thing that you like to see as well, and this is practice, and, people are going to say that things don't matter. The little things do matter, especially when you're trying to establish a standard. And the standard for the Jets right now really is losing, so it takes a ton. It's good when you get a new wave of guys that don't accept losing. Just like you said, the veterans, but even the younger guys, D'Angelo Pons, Omar Cooper Jr., even Dow Jackson Jr. to some summers. I know they had a tough year at Florida State, but those guys they're not trying to start their career as losers. They've won at almost every level that they've been at. So, it like the little things, and I know that it's tough. We do our best here. Jake and I try to do our best when we speak to you guys, try not to compound 15 years of losing onto the 2026 draft class, but they only know what they know. And right now, they don't know that the Jets, they don't know what it feels like to lose for 15 years straight. So again, it is good. It's youthful exuberance, and that's what you want to see. But it's also important that they're good. Like when the best players on your team have or have a no nonsense attitude and they don't take shit, it feels different. It's different. It's not the third string guard. It's not an Xavier Newman. These are guys who are going to be captains and franchise cornerstones, and you want to make sure that they don't take shit from anybody, especially when another team comes into your home base.
That's well said. The big story, unfortunately, from yesterday at this joint practice was the injury that Quantez Stiggers suffered. Needed the ambulance. He was taken to the hospital. Just passed out, according to Aaron Glenn. He's doing okay. He's been released from the hospital, so at least we got a positive update yesterday after I signed off the air on Quantez Stiggers. Other than that, though, Omari, break down what else you saw out there. We heard a lot of talk of Geno Smith struggling through a couple of interceptions. From your vantage point, what did you make of the Jets offense going up against the Bucs starting defense?
Yeah, so in the beginning, in between the 20s, it was a rough start. There's no other way to put it, but I will say that the Jets were working. It seemed to me that they came out there, and the point of emphasis was to work on the short game and the intermediate routes. They didn't really try to stress the defense vertically. It was a lot of quick decisions, a lot of quick dump offs. You saw a lot of Jeremy Ruckert, and you saw a lot of Mason Taylor dump offs in the middle. And the only time that they did try to stress the defense vertically was a deep route to Adonai Mitchell, and Mitchell had a couple steps on his guy. Geno just put it on the wrong shoulder and out of bounds. And again, it's practice, so I don't really want to go too far left or right, one way or the other, positive or negative from practice, but you do want to see something more crisp. So that's what I will say. The interceptions, that's just going to be a part of Geno's game. So people, if you're going to get mad about interceptions, you might as well just start getting mad now, because Geno Smith is going to turn the ball over. But, that's the variance that you're going to have with Geno. Some games he's going to throw 3 touchdowns and 1 interceptions, and some games he's going to throw 2 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. You're just going to get that from Geno Smith at this point. But again, what I saw was a concentrated effort to get rid of the ball quickly. I didn't have my stopwatch on me, but I did my little 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. And Geno was getting rid of the ball right around that 3 Mississippi every single time. Now that's the bad. The good, I'm going to put my green, optimistic Oakleys on. Ton of pre-snap motion. So I would say a good amount for Frank Reich. He was in the bottom third. The last time he called an NFL offense, he was in the bottom third in percentage of pre-snap motion. Almost every play that they ran had some semblance of pre-snap motion, whether that was, they're in 11 personnel, which is 3 wide receivers and 1 running back. You got Isaiah Williams coming from, the trips of the formation, going across the formation to make it a 2-by-2 look. Mason Taylor motioning out pre-snap. So there was a ton of pre-snap motion. So that is, that's really good because that's just where the NFL is. Pre-snap motion allows you to do a couple things. It's an identifier for the offense, so you can determine whether you're in man or in zone, and it's a good way to attack leverage. And, you get the defense moving one way and then you come back and counteract and going another way. So that helps in the pass game, the short pass game, and also helps in the run game as well, too. So that's one thing that I could take from that in that first session. And I would say what else I saw. One thing that I really want to call out, because everybody is excited about Cade Klubnik right now, and everybody knows the most, especially in the Jets fandom, the most popular person in the world is the backup quarterback. Cade Klubnik in 7-on-7, I think he was playing it safe. And I saw that one of the beat writers said, a good period for Cade Klubnik. He was like 4 or 5 or 5 for 5. That's not really what I'm looking to see from my 4th round developmental QB.
This is where training camp stats can be very misleading.
Absolutely. So Jake, if I tell you that Cade Klubnik was 4 for 5 and, he moved the ball, you would probably think that was good, right?
It sounds really good, yeah.
Yeah, Cade Klubnik, Cade Klubnik tucking the ball and running for 12 yards in a 7-on-7 or 11-on-11 is not doing Cade Klubnik any favors. I want Cade Klubnik really using practice to really understand and learn what his deficiencies are and what his strengths are. How quickly does an NFL window close? Where do I have to throw? Where does this ball have to be in order for me to fit it in that window? What are my limitations in terms of arm talent? What are my advantages in terms of arm talent? Where does Omar Cooper like this ball? Like, if I throw it to his back shoulder, can he turn around and make this catch? I want Cade Klubnik to play as free as he can because that's going to be able to unlock him the quickest. And I think that's where we're going to get the best version of Cade Klubnik. I don't want Cade Klubnik to play safe in a joint practice in the NFL. I want Cade Klubnik going out there and throwing the ball, being decisive. Who cares if you throw interceptions? If Cade Klubnik throws 20 practice interceptions, it does not matter as long as he's understanding what his limitations are, how quickly these windows close in the NFL, and how he's going to be able to potentially win games if the Jets need him. So that's another takeaway that I would do from the offense.
We're certainly going to see a lot of Cade Klubnik throughout the preseason. We're going to get into that as people tuning in can see the title. Glenn making a big decision on preseason playing time. Before we get into Glenn's comments, speaking of Jet quarterbacks that don the number 10, today's raffle prize is one of my favorite Jets of all time. The first Jets jersey I ever had, a Chad Pennington signed Jets helmet, is up for grabs. Make sure you gift a membership or send in a super chat, $10 or more, to purchase 2 raffle tickets, and you will be entered on the Wheel of Champions. Your name will be there. We'll spin the wheel at the end of the second show, as we always do when we do 2 shows. So you have multiple chances to win when you enter for the Chad signed helmet. You're also entered in Sunday's weekly raffle, where you can win a signed Nick Mangold helmet, signed Curtis Martin helmet, or a signed Garrett Wilson helmet. So big shout out to everyone who supports the show. Yesterday, this amazing Asmaniac, I believe, was watching my program on delay. So she gifted a membership as the final video to wrap up the show was playing. So Kelly Maria, I didn't forget about you. I bookmarked it and I got you down in the raffle today because you gifted one after our show ended last night. Congrats to the Rooster, by the way, on winning a signed Leon Washington helmet on our show yesterday. We got 5 gifted memberships from Mike Duramo. Mike, appreciate you. He is the first to gift today. He's in the raffle for 5.
The Jet fans getting a little crazy.
If you hear your name, Mike made you a channel member, so make sure you thank him for his incredible generosity. The following 5: Wet Sox Entertainment, We Got the Sauce, Robbie Sabo hates David Bailey more than anyone to ever live, Orlando GNYG, Florida Niners, and CHS Realtor. Man, people are quick with the usernames, Omari. Unbelievable. Ozzy Fullers in the Asmaniac raffle for one. Good job, Ozzy. Appreciate you. And then we got a $10 super chat from Justin. We'll get to this, and then we'll hit on the Aaron Glenn comments. Justin's in our raffle for two. Shout out to you, Justin. He says, who was actually afraid of Robert Saleh? We got rid of those players. He grit. Also, Saleh's defense likes to play with everything in front of them. Tight ends are going to feast. Get me that helmet. Again, there's no excuse for the Jets to not win week one. It's a gigantic game. You're playing a team that has an entirely new coaching staff, a young quarterback going into his second year. They have way more turnover than the Jets do on both sides of the football. I think an advantage the Jets have is in the trenches in both matchups. I think the Jets should be able to wreak havoc with their defensive line. And I think the O-line should be able to hold up and protect Geno. So, everyone who's watched the show the last couple months knows how I feel about week one. It's a game they have to win if you're serious about being a team that's going to be better than what most people expect, which is a 4 or 5 win football team.
I'm right there with you, and I was supporting you saying that week one is a must win, and that's exactly how I feel. Shout out to Ocho. I think that is a winnable game, and if you're going to be who Aaron Glenn thinks his team is, you have to win some of those 50-50 games. So I think that it's a tremendously winnable game. And as we get closer, we're going to break down about where the Jets have the matchups. Jake said it right. They have the trench. They have the advantage in the trenches. And I think they probably have the advantages on the at the skill positions as well, too. I'm taking the Jets tight end group over their linebackers. And I would say maybe the cornerback and wide receiver for the Jets, the cornerbacks for the Titans and the wide receivers for the Jets is maybe a wash. But again, I like for talent, I like the Jets over the Titans. Now, Titans fans are going to say the same thing, but listen, that's why we have an opportunity to play. We know exactly what Robert Saleh is going to do. You think that Robert Saleh is going to change his scheme and his philosophy for this?
No chance.
Especially against the Jets? No. So let's abuse their aggressiveness, just like teams did for 4 or 5 years when Saleh was here. You're going to be able to beat them on a screen, tight end screens. You're going to be able to beat them with the quick pass game. All right. Now, what does Omar Cooper, Isaiah Williams, and Garrett Wilson do? They can break tackles. So if you want to play that cover 3 trail and give up a bunch of cushion, just like we used to hate all the time when Sauce was already giving up 8 yards of cushion and they would just throw the ball out there, let Garrett Wilson and A.D. Mitchell do that and break some tackles. We know exactly what to do to take advantage of a Robert Saleh defense. So no, I'm not laying down for Robert Saleh. I was a big fan of Cam Ward, and I love what Brian Dable has to do, but he's also a second-year quarterback that was one of the worst quarterbacks against pressure. So let's pressure the second-year quarterback and show us that he's learned everything and see what Brian Dable has to do. They're learning 2 new schemes just like the Jets are.
And again, I got to keep listening to Aaron Glenn tell everyone how good he is at calling defense. Did it again yesterday on WFAN, trying to make it seem like, well, his biggest mistake he made in year one, he said, was he should have called the defense. And it's like, you wanted to hire Wink Martindale to do it this offseason. It's not like you had this, this moment of, this is what I'm going to do immediately. No, you didn't. But he keeps talking like this is going to be the biggest change for the Jets this year. So let's see it come out and be the better team. Because one thing about Saleh, he can coach defense. He's proven that. So let's see, Aaron Glenn, keep talking a big game. Go out there and win that game in front of all the Jet fans who I know are going to be making the trip down to Nashville. Can't wait for that. Marvelous. He's in our raffle today for 5 entries. He gifted 5 channel memberships.
Hey, anybody hungry? We got some really great food here today. We got broccoli pasta vazul, homemade chili, and this is what the Jets do today. The Jets today definitely win.
The Jets today definitely win. We'll see on Friday when they take on the Tampa Bay Bucks in the first preseason game. So Aaron Glenn yesterday said that all the starters are going to play, and then he was asked, well, why?
Important for all guys to play. Now, there were science behind this also, as far as having joint practices and trying to get the guys, at least throughout the preseason, 25 to 30 reps. I'm talking about all 3 games, so, and I don't know how I'll divvy that up. It's a field when you go into preseason. But what they say is when you get joint practices where the ones get a lot of reps and then you have that many plays, 25 to 30 in the preseason games throughout those 3 games, the risk of injury actually goes down in that first part of the year. So just talking to those guys, I'm a big believer in that, so I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Omari, what do you make of the strategy Glenn and the sports science department are deploying for Friday and the other two preseason games?
I love it. I think that this was a 3-win team, and I think everybody should be playing football except for maybe Demario Davis and Minka Fitzpatrick. Everyone else needs to we just did our last segment on how week 1 is a must win. Aaron Glenn doesn't have the luxury to start out slow. He doesn't have an opportunity to ramp up and ease into the season. They have to be ready to go from the opening whistle on September 13th. And I think that making sure that you can simulate game speed reps as much as you can before things truly count. So I think that they should probably even play more. I think that your younger guys and some of your backups should probably play 40 to 50 snaps. I think it should be a little bit more. Maybe Gino probably needs 40 snaps or 50 snaps. So I think that they should play as much real football at real speed as they can before things truly matter. Listen, you have to build up a callus. Like these guys train all off season. I know that we don't want guys to get hurt, but it's football. You have to play football. I'm a firm believer that maybe this is old school. I played football in the early 2000s. I think that you have to play football to get better at football.
A novel concept. I think they're making the right decision as well with this. I almost would rather them play more than 25 to 30 reps. To your point, these guys need to play, man. And again, the advantage they might have over Saleh if he continues to do what he did as the Jet coach, when Saleh's teams had the rest advantage, when they had a lot of time to prepare, they were flat as a pancake. Remember week 1 against the Niners on Monday Night Football? After they didn't play anyone in the preseason, they tried to be all protective, and they just looked like they were completely unprepared and just not ready for the physicality that the Niners presented that night. If you're the Jets and you got Breece Hall and you got this offensive line, go play in the preseason so you're ready to go so you can play smash mouth football and attack a soft Titans team early on in the year. And again, upsets in the NFL, they typically happen at the beginning of the year rather than later in the year when teams are truly who they are. Look at the Jets schedule. You're going to be an underdog week 1, slight underdog. You're going to be a significant underdog in week 2, week 3, and week 4. You're going to be. There's no other way around it. You're probably close to a touchdown underdog on the road in Detroit and Chicago, and you're probably a 5-point underdog against Green Bay in that week 2 game, even without Micah Parsons and maybe Josh Jacobs getting suspended. So the way I look at it is you're going to have to steal a couple of these games that you're not expected to win. The best path to being able to do that is if you're just more ready to play football than some of these other teams who aren't going to take the preseason as seriously, aren't going to have their guys playing because of the injury risk. If you're the Jets, you have to risk the injuries because your only shot of having a real season is to pick up one of these surprise wins when you're not expected. Tom Thibodeau, I'll use a Nick analogy. Tom Thibodeau treated every game like it was a playoff game. And maybe at the end of the day, that wasn't the right way to run your franchise if you're a championship contender and you're trying to get to the NBA Finals. But that first year, Tibbs took over the Knicks. The reason why they won 42 games with Elfrid Payton at point guard and Julius Randle as their best player and second-year RJ Barrett was because they played harder than teams. And if the Jets can come out and play harder than teams who are maybe not ready to play right away, maybe that's how you steal a game or two you're not supposed to win. So I almost want Glenn to have them play more than just 25 to 30 reps. Like, this is a young team. I don't need DeMario or Minka necessarily to play that many, but I want the young guys to go out there and play so they're ready to go when we start the season.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. And I think 2 of Glenn's better performances came when he had a ton of time to prepare. They came out week 1 and looked pretty good, and to the point where we all thought that we actually had an offense. And then I believe it was the Atlanta game was the game post the bye, right? Was it the Atlanta game? So I know they had a win.
Cleveland, I guess, was the post bye, but then they beat Atlanta a week after that.
A week after. Okay, so they actually had wins when they had more time to prepare. So I think that this is all in favor of Glenn, and I'm right there with you. Listen, Minka, DeMario, David Onyemata, those guys don't need to play, all right? But David Bailey, get as many reps as you can. Even Will McDonald, get as many reps as you can. Everybody on the offense outside of Garrett Wilson and maybe Gino, they should be playing. Kenyon Sadiq, Pons, all those guys, they need to play. Even T'Vondre Sweat. He's going to need to ramp up as well, too, and he's probably going to need to lose about 10 pounds because we truly don't know how much he is. So these guys need to play.
We know Sadiq's not going to play. Yeah,
he's not going to play. Yeah.
They're a lost cause for probably the first 2 preseason games. I did see a video of Sadiq going through agility drills on the sideline before the joint practice got underway today. So maybe he's a couple weeks away. Maybe he could appear in that final preseason game against the Giants. But I'm with you, Omari. These guys got to get out there because new system on offense. I know Glenn was here last year, but it's his defense. They need game reps. And yes, there's injury risk that comes with it. But like if you're the Jets, you almost have to be like, yeah, there's a risk, but what choice do we have? We got to be more ready to go than some of these teams we're playing when we're big underdogs in 3 of our first 4 games.
Yeah, and a lot of those times being underdog, the Jets are going to be at a talent disadvantage. And to be honest, Jake, until he shows us otherwise, they're going to be at a coaching disadvantage as well, too. So if you're at a talent and a coaching disadvantage, you got to outplay teams. You got to out-tough teams. And that's what those Tibbs teams used to do. They weren't better than a lot of those teams that they beat, but they played hard as hell, and they made it tough, and they made it ugly. And I think that's what the Jets are going to have to do. They're just going to have to out-tough some teams until they've proven that the talent level is basically at a wash. And to be honest, the coaching, most people would say that the Jets are going to be at a coaching disadvantage almost every time they play. Maybe not Jeff Hafley because he's a rookie coach, but if we're just being honest, the Jets are going to be at a disadvantage. So what do you do when you're at a talent disadvantage and at a coaching disadvantage? You got to play your ass off.
1,000%. And look, I mean, the Jets go into most weeks with a worse head coach and a worse quarterback. Not in every game, but that's the NFL. It's a coach quarterback league. Like we could feel as good as we want to feel about the rest of the roster. And I think there's some players here. I do. I know you were at camp yesterday. A.D. Mitchell is making plays. Garrett Wilson. We know about the talent of some of these other names on defense, like David Bailey, who continues to have a really impressive start to his NFL career. But the bottom line is, until you have a coach and a quarterback, your ceiling's capped. It just is. Like you can only go so far. And Saleh, I don't believe, was a great head coach, but the reason why the Jets were able to win 7 games back-to-back seasons without any semblance of quarterback play is because the Jets were a top 3 defense. And if Aaron Glenn is not schematically able to win them some games because of his defense, they're going to have a tough time, beating the Bills twice, beating the Patriots twice when you go into the game and it's, Drake May or Josh Allen for 4 of your division games this year.
Yeah, and I think when you're at a coaching and a quarterback disadvantage, your margin for error is almost none. You can't, all 3 phases of football, you have to play damn near perfect. So that means that you can't give the ball away on offense, but we already know that that's going to happen just because of who he is as a quarterback. The defense is going to have to be phenomenal. And the special teams, which I will say did look good yesterday, the special teams is going to have to carry that over as well, too. So it's unfortunate when you do have that coaching quarterback combo that you're not fully sure of. You have to play perfect football. And we all know that that's just not possible in the NFL. Like nobody plays perfectly. So yeah, you're right.
Omari, I'm going to put something on the screen that just happened at the joint practice between the Bucs and the Jets. I want you to read it to the Asmaniac community.
David Bailey opened practice by destroying Luke Gedeke on a spin move in one-on-ones.
Is Luke Gedeke going to cry about it afterwards and claim that he won the rep and David Bailey was all upset?
Yeah, he's going to say that David Bailey called him out and that Kingsley Enagbari cheap shot at him. Just take your whooping like a man, Luke. It's all right. It's okay.
God, I love Bailey. I really do. I love his competitive fire. I love how cool he was to the fans at the one practice I was at 2 Saturdays ago. I'm excited for David Bailey, man. I think they got it right with this picket too. I do.
Look, David Bailey is approaching Carl Lawson training camp.
But the difference is Carl Lawson's toasting, the corpse of George Fant or Mekhi Becton. David Bailey's doing it up against, Pro Bowl tackles.
He's doing it. Yeah. So listen, right now, David Bailey is somewhere in between Lawrence Taylor and we'll call it Will Anderson or something like that. He is just wreaking havoc, but that's what you want from the 2nd overall pick of the entire NFL draft. So, people are saying to temper expectations. Jake, that's not our job to temper expectations. I would tell fans right now, if you want to be excited, especially for the people that preferred Arvell Reese, which is me, even though I didn't look at David Bailey as some sort of consolation prize. Be excited that you have somebody that could potentially be a game wrecker, because you know what David Bailey does. Will Parkinson said this as well too. Like if he's just good, the Jets defense is going to be exponentially better. But if he's a guy, now he makes everyone better. So now Will McDonald is going against the weaker tackles, and he's going to be able to get double-digit sacks easier. Now you're forcing the quarterback to step up. And now David Onyemata and the guys on the interior. Now Jawan Briggs gets better. Now the secondary gets better. The quarterback position on offense and the edge position or shutdown corner, they're force multiplying positions. They make the entire defense exponentially better. And that's why you take a guy second overall who probably doesn't set the best edge. But I'm going to tell you guys right now, we'll probably get into something that one of my cohorts said yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, man, I don't need my second overall pick he's not going to win defensive rookie of the year for setting the edge. There's no stat for how many edges were set. All right. So
what if he has 4 sacks and sets the cleanest of edges?
Let me tell you something. Give me the 12 sacks and the disruption. All right. I brought in Joseph Osai to set an edge. Okay. I want Kingsley Enagbari to set an edge. I need David Bailey causing disruption. Okay. And that's why, listen, and everybody was talking about for the people that wanted Arvell Reese, and there were a ton of us that wanted Arvell Reese, and we said that Carl Dunbar would be able to teach him how to be a better defender and a better run stopper or a better edge. The same trust that you have in Carl Dunbar to help the development for Arvell Reese, just think about what he's going to be able to do for David Bailey. So I think that, I don't like to tell fans to temper their excitement when there's something that they should be excited for. And the number 2 overall pick, absolutely whooping everyone's ass, is something that I can get behind.
Omari, I'm going to play you a clip during my show yesterday that has caused a ton of controversy in the Asmaniac community. For those who missed it, this was Robbie Sabo's take yesterday that has certainly caused some to have a strong opinion on the matter.
Not buy into the hype like other people do in camp from really anybody, whether it be him or AZ or AD or Isaiah. I have to see it first because we've been the victims of hyping people up way too much. With that being said, it's definitely been more positive than negative. So that's obviously a good thing. But I'm not like head over heels. Hey, this guy, I'm moving my prediction from now 6-7 sacks to 15.5, like some people are.
Yeah. But see, here's the thing too. Like, say he does get 12 sacks. It's sack number. I'd rather see him develop as more all-around player and finish with 4 sacks than have 12.
No, that's where we're going too far.
No,
that's where we're going too far. If he has 12 sacks as a rookie,
correct.
Come on.
Think about this. If you play him on base and it's 2nd and 8, right? He's thinking one-on-one. He's thinking get the quarterback. Hunt, Predator, Arnold, Rambo. He wins the outside. Good left tackle guides him out. No one's replacing. He flows out of the arc, out of the structure. The shotgun running back Oppo goes right to his C gap, pretty much. Goes right to his edge. 55-yard touchdown. That destroys a game.
You act like that's the only scenario, though. Like he either has 4 sacks and is good at that.
No. I was just giving 2 examples. I was just giving 2 examples. Like,
come on. If he has 12 sacks, he's winning Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Okay, I'd rather him have 12 sacks and be shit against the run.
But you're acting like he hasn't been decent against the run so far. Like there's been moments where even like some of the
the last
cynical people have said he's been better against the run than they thought. Even Brian Costello's lofting praise on David Bailey.
No, on Saturday he had his best play of the summer, where he diagnosed an inside zone split, screeched down the line, flat, squeezed it, took it on with a high collision, peeled off right shoulder. I think it was the right shoulder. I was far away, but looked to be the right shoulder because he peeled off to the inside. So he took it on with his outside shoulder, got in on the gang tackle. Tremendous. My point is, if he keeps doing that, I'll take a lower sack output.
Sure, but there's a big difference between 4 and 12. That's too far.
Whatever then. 12 and 6, 12 and 7. Whatever the case may be.
Well, your thoughts on that, Omari?
Give me the 12 sacks. Give me the double-digit sacks, year one. I'm all about disruption. But Robbie is right, though. You don't want a selfish player, and you can't have somebody that's just completely, disregarding the run and his and his responsibility in the run game, because defenses are a system. So if you do crack at the base, the entire foundation can crumble. So I do understand what he's saying. Maybe he was being a little facetious with the 4 and the 12 sacks, but I'm all about disruption. All right. And I'm all about disruption and causing chaos and throwing off the timing of the opponent's offense. So you give me and again, I'm not just a total sack guy. I'm going to be looking at pressures and pass rush win rate and run stop percentage and all that, those things like that. But listen, we don't think Will Anderson is phenomenal in all world because he sets a tremendous edge. I don't want it to be one of those situations with David Bailey where it's like, he has 2 sacks where we're like, oh man, but you know what? He's really, his metrics look good. I'm tired of like people trying to sell us on metrics on why this guy is good. Let's just get guys that are good. Like everybody's good. Like everybody, everybody thinks Derek Stingley's good. Everybody thinks Will Anderson is good. Everybody thinks that Myles Garrett is good. We don't have to go into his peripherals and the metrics and get real super nerdy. The eye test. Let's just say that we have a superstar at edge from the eye test. I want the most basic of fans to turn on the TV Sunday and say, you know what? I want some of the older Jets fans that are in their 50s and 60s to just say, holy shit, David Bailey's good. And I want the younger fans to say, hey, we got one. The dude that wears no gloves and the dude with the weird number, Antonio Cromartie's number, that's rushing the edge now, he's amazing. I'm tired of seeing Josh Allen jerseys. I'm tired of seeing Jackson Dart jerseys. We're on the brink of losing a generation of fans. Let's just get some superstars.
Amen. That is well said by Omari Brown. All right, I got more for you. This is Leger Douzable recapping his takeaways from the practice. I won't play the whole thing, but I want to play the part he specifically talks about David Bailey because Leger wanted the Jets from the beginning to take David Bailey, and he's the one who told me that when he played for the Jets and Carl Dunbar was his defensive line coach, Dunbar helped him more against the run than he did developing his pass rush move. So my argument for Bailey, for those saying, oh, well, Dunbar could teach Reese how to be a full-time edge was, well, the same people saying that you also can acknowledge that Dunbar could also coach up David Bailey to be better against the run. Now, before I play this video, I do have to say it's a little not safe for work because if you take a look at the nether region of Leger, you'll see why. So I warned you. Now here is our guy, Leger Douzable.
What up, my good people? Hope everybody's having a blessed day. Here to give you an update on what I saw in the Jets versus Bucs cross practice. First and foremost, a spirited practice. There was a ton of fights, and you never truly want that in practice. You want to get that good competitive work, but you don't want to fight every 4 or 5 plays. Really got after in the trenches on both sides, and there was a lot of scuffles. I guarantee both coaching staffs will talk to their players about that to mitigate that tomorrow. Main point, David Bailey was as good as advertised. Elite first step, get off, very efficient with his hands. I know people were concerned about his ability against the run. He is so instinctual. He's so instinctual as a player. He knows how to diagnose the plays and make plays in the backfield. He's going to be good against the run. Carl Dunbar, one of the best D-line coaches in football. He continues to ascend as a prominent player on this Jets team.
That's what I like to hear.
Yeah, I mean, this is people thought that I was against David Bailey when I was very complimentary of him in one of my first, that is insane, Gator McCluskey.
Save some for the rest of us, Leger.
That's exactly what you want to hear. All right, it's the first step get up is real. I think David Bailey's going to run into a third of his. He said, "Save some for the rest of us." I can't. That was insane. Man. I gotta shoot Jose a DM, man. I don't even know where to go. But listen, David Bailey's good, and Carl Dunbar's gonna help him get better. And it's great. I don't know. You got to segue us out of here, Jake.
Let's see. This comment from Envelet. Bailey dominated a weak college football conference. I don't think that's true. David Bailey against Oregon was arguably the best player on the field in the playoff game.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you want. If it's a weak conference, go out there and dominate it.
Right.
How many times do we have guys come from a weaker conference and they don't dominate? He did exactly what he was supposed to do. And another thing that kind of bothers me as a pro Arvell Reese guy, I say it all the time, people just didn't look at his tape in Stanford. David Bailey wasn't able to just pin his ears back and rush the passer at Stanford. He was asked to play a more balanced role, and that's exactly what he did. And he played stand-up 3-4 edge. So this whole notion that he just has an inability to set an edge, or he's just not interested in stopping the run, I just think it's a little misguided. And I think that we just need to allow these guys to grow a little bit, because guys are getting paid. Marcus Parsons doesn't get paid because he sets a tremendous edge. Will Anderson didn't just break the record for, defensive player, the highest paid defensive player, because these guys set the edge. You pay for disruption. And what is David Bailey doing right now? He's disrupting practice and he's causing disruption. That's what you want an edge to do. Now, listen, when Robbie says that edge is a total position, it's not just designated pass rusher, he's 1000% correct. But again, do I think that it's easier to teach somebody to be an elite pass rusher or a decent run defender? I think it's going to be the latter. And I think that we have the right coach in-house to develop that. So let's just wait and see.
Man, I just saw another tweet from Connor Hughes.
David
Bailey just had another sack in team drills, came flying around the edge to bring down Mayfield. Well, tap him to stop the play. Dominant again.
Love it.
Robbie Sable will say, well, actually, Baker Mayfield tripped. His shoes were untied.
I love it, though. Shout out to Robbie, though. Robbie understands what gets to people.
He does.
Going.
I love Robbie.
He understands. Robbie's a pro.
Well, it's funny because he's as stubborn as Frankie is on the other side with the Bailey argument. It's the two most stubborn people in the Jet media space.
I love it. I love it. And you need it. And there's room for both. We love both. We love them equally, and we love them the same.
Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. If you tuned in late, make sure you're entered in the raffle today. Signed Chad Pennington helmet is up for grabs, baby. Nothing like it. Chad, number 10 on the field, number 1 in your hearts. We send it to you. Should you win, gift the membership, send in a super chat that qualifies, or if you want to Venmo me, Jake-Asman, or Zell me, AsmanJake at Gmail, if that's easier for you, you can. 631 Sports says, Gabagool or Mortadella? Omari, your thoughts?
Gabagool.
Strong.
Give me
Real
the
strong.
Gabagool.
I wonder what this guy ended up going with that.
Anybody hungry? We got some really great food here today. We got broccoli and pasta fazool, homemade chili, and this is what the Jets do today. The Jets today definitely win.
I want some of that homemade chili.
I know. That looks like a good time, too. Like that grainy footage, it looks like, early 2000s. It was a good time, man.
Jay says, need more Frankie versus Robbie smoke and debate. Oh, we'll get it. By the way, Frankie's coming on the show this afternoon. He's at practice today. He's covering it for the post. So we got Frankie V this afternoon. So twice in the same week, you'll get Frankie V on, because with David Bailey having a dominant showing at camp, there's no better guy you want to hear from than Tanky V.
Yeah, Frankie's probably bursting at the seams right now. He probably can't even contain himself. He's probably beside himself. He's probably in a 3-point stance as we speak, mirroring David Bailey, because that's what he was doing at the Atlantic City Beach Club. So he's juiced up. I know he is. Good for him.
Yeah. He was more than juiced up in Atlantic City. I can tell you that much.
He's in rare form in AC.
This one is from Zach Rosenblatt. Why don't you read it to the people, Omari?
Armand Member with a nice rep on Ruben Bain. Bay trying some moves and they didn't work. So, to piggyback off of that, Ruben Bain, you can, when you see him on the field, and obviously he's going against Armand Member, who we think is going to be all world. You can see some of his physical limitations and what people were worried about. Some of his physical limitations going forward. He's going to have to be a little bit more crafty than he was in college. Obviously, I think that a lot of his early wins are going to come in sub packages, maybe lined up ahead of the guard, because he got stonewalled multiple times going against Armand Member and Joe Tippmann. I think that those are tough matchups for Ruben Bain. So he's going to have to redefine his game a bit as he goes forward.
Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. We'll take some calls as well on the Gustbuster Umbrella Hotline. Today's Jake Asman Show is presented by Circa. We're going to be out there at the end of the month as maniacs who live in Vegas. Make sure you're stopping by Circa August 27th through the 29th for Circa's contest weekend. There's events planned all weekend long for anyone who's entering any of these 3 contests. My favorite is the open bar at the pool that they do on Friday. So we will be ready to roll for that. We're going to have some great guests that are going to join us. I've already confirmed that both Jeff Parles and Jared Smith, who was our big guest yesterday, who did a great job, Rooster's cousin. What are the odds of that? He's going to be joining us in person at the Radio Row they have set up for us to do our show from. So get ready, folks. Circasports.com for all the info. 30 million in guaranteed prizes. We're going to be in the Circa Survivor for a chance to win $20 million. And maybe, just maybe, Omari, I got to run my strategy from last year where I picked against the Jets every week and it was a reverse jinx. Now, this one is a lot more expensive because it's going to cost me $1,000 to do, but that's how committed I am to seeing the Jets hopefully making me lose $1,000 so they can win week 1 against the Tennessee Titans.
See, that's real commitment. That's what I love to see. I love that. Actions to go along with the words.
You're not wrong. Let's get to some calls, shall we? First up today is Carlos DeBarber. Los, what's going on?
Brothers, how y'all doing?
Are you giving a haircut to a brick wall?
No. I'm cutting hair, but I got the background going today. But I wanted to quickly.
Which customer complained that they didn't want to be filmed on a Jet podcast while getting their haircut?
Oh no, nobody. You know, everybody's good with me with the getting on call. But I was just sitting here thinking about listening to Omari about the pass rush and how Bailey will open up, the game for McDonald. And if that happens, man, like how scary of a pass rush could we really have this year if that all works out the way we hope that it works out? Right? I mean, what what kind of pass rush do you think we're capable of having if that works out in that way?
So if David Bailey we'll say that he's elite. He's a top 10 edge at his position. I think we could see two double-digit sack guys because we've already seen Will McDonald do it without much help, relatively little help. And if you add another dynamic guy on the other side, I think that just opens up the entire defense. And not only from the front seven, from the back end as well. Then we'll probably see an interception. Remember what that felt like? So I just think, I think quarterback does it for the offense. I think, having an elite cover corner, being able to really shut down one side of the field, but then also having that, that alpha tier edge. I'm talking like a Will Anderson, TJ Watt when he was at the prime of his, of his career, Myles Garrett. That opens up the defense exponentially. So I've already said that I expect between the two, Will and David Bailey, I'm expecting over 18 sacks between those two. So I think that we could see a borderline dominant defense, but that's asking for a lot for a rookie.
Well, let me say this: if that was to happen, just off of that alone will give us, I think, chances to win plenty of games.
It would keep us in games because I think you still have to score points, and I think that that's what the real issue is going to be. And then it goes all the way back to our biggest concerns, which is the quarterback position and the head coach position. So I think having a dominant defense will keep you in games. You'll be close, but again, you can't give the ball away. You can't have pre-snap penalties. And, from a coaching and, schematic standpoint, you have to be on par with the rest of the league. So there's still a ton of questions.
Yeah, but to your point, Omari, if they have that many sacks, that means you're in advantageous scenarios to actually rush the quarterback. So you're playing in tighter games that aren't blowouts, or maybe, dare I say, you're doing this thing called you're leading in football games where you have more chances to rush the passer.
That's true.
Awesome. Well, and another thing before I leave, let me go ahead and fix that beard up, Omari. Come on down when you're in Florida, man. Come see me. I'm going to hook you up. Hot towel shave on the face. You know what I mean? Get that razor sharp blade on there, man. Get you right. I'm still waiting on Jake. We're going to do a live show one day, Jake, right here at the barbershop.
That's right.
In Florida.
When the Jets are playing the Jaguars, we'll be down there, Los.
Come on.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure.
All right, y'all. Y'all be good.
Ladies and gentlemen, Carlos DeBarber checking in. Good stuff from him. We're presented by PrizePicks. You brought up Will McDonald. His PrizePicks number right now, Omari, is 7.25. Do you think Will McDonald will get at least 7.5 sacks?
I do. I think Will goes for double-digit sacks for the second time in his career. He's playing in his age 27 season, and he's also playing for a new contract. I think this is now the time for Will McDonald. I think this is probably going to be his biggest payday. I don't know how many edge rushers get too many more contracts post 30. So I think this is Will McDonald's chance to cash in. So I'm going to smash the over.
Over 7.25 sacks for Will McDonald. If you want to make this pick as part of a PrizePick lineup, download the PrizePicks app. When you do, make sure you use the code HMA. Play your first $5, get $150 in lineups if you win. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Weekly raffle prizes for those tuning in for the first time this week include a signed Garrett Wilson helmet, signed Curtis Martin helmet, and a signed Nick Mangold helmet. Our top prize on today's show is a Chad Pennington signed helmet. So if you want to win the Chad helmet, enter, and you'll have a chance to win on our shows today. And you're also going to be entered in the weekly raffle. This super chat is a good one here. It's from 631. It says, Jake and Omari, are you team win or team tank? So I'm team win to start the year. I don't want to just throw away a season. There's multiple avenues where the Jets could get a quarterback. The Colts could be bad. They could trade up. There could be so many quarterbacks that who knows? You might be like Denver and Bo Nix is there as the fifth guy taken. He ends up being one of the best. So I'm not going to just throw away a year when there's so much unknown in August. That said, here's where I will level with those just saying march for arch and throw away the season. If they start 0-4, I'm out. Glenn's gone, and I want them to lose every damn game and get the top pick because it does there's no purpose in finishing with 6 wins if you started 0-4. Does nothing for me. If they are that bad, I want them to be awful. So that's where I'm at. It's either get out to a good start and give us the season, or I'm rooting for you to suck because winning 6 games and being in no man's land potentially is not what I want to do.
Yeah, and I'm going to take it even a step further. If they start off 0-4 or like 1-6, it's break glass in case of tank, and Brady Cook you guys are going to see Brady Cook football because we are going all the way with this thing.
Well, you'll see Klubnik first, but yeah.
You'll see Klubnik, but even further, I'm just going to be a complete asshole. Like I'm going to be saying start Brady Cook, and I was there yesterday, and I don't have nice things to say about Brady Cook as a quarterback. So it's going to be break glass in case of tank, and number 4 will be marched out there every single Sunday, and Aaron Glenn is going to have to be marched out there every single Sunday because if I'm going to have to watch the games, he's going to have to watch the games as well too because at least he's getting paid to watch the game. So I will be the tank commander. And Jake could be the tank lieutenant if it goes off the rails. Because again, it's like either make the playoffs or just be completely terrible. Winning 7 or 8 games. Like, yeah, exactly.
Be 4-4. Like, so we have some hope going into November. If they beat the Dolphins and Raiders and do my like positive outline spin, they're 4-4 after November 1st. We're going into the month of November and December where the team is in the hunt. Like, we're not asking for much. Show real progress. That'd be progress.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly where I'm at too. But yeah, I don't want to be, win 5 to 6 games or something like that. And it's a bunch of wins at the end of the year with teams that are checked out. Like we've been there. We've been there. And then that just leaves you in no man's land. You don't really know if you still have questions about your head coach. And I'm almost at the point, Jake, if you have questions about can this person really do the job? I'm just going to say that you can't do the job because just like we're finding out with some of these players, like we know who can play and who can't. If you're still waiting for these guys in year 3 to show you something, or you're still waiting for them to evolve, it's probably not going to happen. So let's just make some quicker decisions so we can get to the destination that we want to be faster without it hurting so much.
Hit the like button if you're just joining us. Make sure if you're one of the 300 people watching right now and you're not subscribed to the channel, you definitely do so. Omari, you got a new YouTube channel that's about to launch. First show going to be after Jets Bucks Friday. Tell people all about it.
Yeah, I'm extremely excited, guys. I've been getting a lot of feedback, especially from the Asmaniacs. So I'm always humbled and just grateful that you guys watch and you guys appreciate what I'm doing. So Omari Brown TV, one eye, Omari Brown TV. First show is going to be post game of the Jets, breaking down exactly what I do here with Jake. Little comedy, little jokes. I want to hear from you guys. And my goal is to create good content for Jets fans that want to learn and hopefully teach me a little something in the process. But yeah, it's been a fun ride. Jake gave me an opportunity in February, so I've just been happy that I've been able to continue to bring you guys objective news as best that I can. So Omari Brown TV, first time, first show, first airing is going to be Friday at around 10 p.m. right after the game. So hopefully we have some good things to talk about. So I appreciate everybody. You can go subscribe now if you want to. So my wife and my mom are my first 2 subscribers. So race to be third.
Let's go. I'm going to be there. All right. I'm going to subscribe. I can't wait. How about this? Some good Jet news here. Zach Rosenblatt tweet, Cade Klubnik, stellar 50-yard bomb to Arian Smith for a touchdown. Smith got behind the corner. One of the better deep balls we've seen in camp and team drills. How about Arian Smith, 1, catching the ball, and 2, Cade Klubnik throwing a bomb. I like seeing this. Hopefully we see a lot of this in the preseason.
See, and that's what I want. I want players to shut me up. That's what Cade Klubnik should be doing. Be aggressive, push the envelope. And Arian Smith, yeah, he's going to get open because not too many people can run for him stride for stride. Just catch the damn ball. So this is good. And what I will say, Jake, it seems like this is a part of the script. They're probably working more vertical concepts today. So I wouldn't be surprised if we hear about more deep shots and more completions further down the field, which is good, which is what you want to see.
Ladies and gentlemen, hit the like button. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. We're giving you the latest from Jets training camp. There was just a fight that had to be broken up, which is exactly what you get when you get to join practices. So we'll keep you posted there. Super Chats always cut the line, as you guys know. So this one is from Green Empire Lawn Care. It says, what are the odds we squeeze into the playoffs?
I don't know. That's a tall hill to climb. I think Jake and I will be able to give you a better answer after the first quarter of the season. But right now, I mean, and that in my most optimistic view, I could squeeze out 7 wins for the Jets, and that's just not going to do it in this division. So, if you tell me that everyone plays to the best of their ability, like the height of what we all think, maybe. But then again, we're asking for Geno Smith to be 2024 Geno Smith and not 25. We're asking for David Bailey to be Superman right out the gate. We're asking for guys not to be injured. So I don't know about you, Jake. I think I have them as pretty slim odds of sneaking into the playoffs. What about you?
Well, the way I would look at this is, how many wins will it take in the AFC to make the playoffs? 10, probably?
10, yeah.
So if we think it was going to take 10 to make the playoffs, what I'm trying to do is go on a sports book and just pull up, like, because you could bet on this, like, what are the Jet odds to win 10 games? And you're going to see it's going to be like plus, a gigantic number. Yeah. Those would basically be their playoff odds. Like, if you want actual odds, what are the chances it happens? The path for it to happen is they win some games early they're not supposed to. I'm looking at you, Green Bay in the home opener. I'm looking at you, Detroit or Chicago on the road. You beat the teams you are supposed to beat: Tennessee, Cleveland, Miami twice, the Las Vegas Raiders, the Cardinals, and Geno gives you a Fitzpatrick level year from 2015. David Bailey's in the Rookie of the Year conversation. How were the Jets at one point 6-3 and 7-4 in 2022? Well, Sauce Gardner was the Rookie of the Year, was an All-Pro corner, and Garrett Wilson was the Rookie of the Year. And before that, Breece Hall was incredible and would have won the award if he stayed healthy. Like, you're going to need these young players, first and second year guys, to ascend immediately, and Geno's going to have to give you, one of those Seattle years to have a chance to do it.
Yeah, at minimum. Like, all of those guys are going to have to play to the upper end of the spectrum that we all think, and that just rarely never happens. But again, 2015 happened. They had 2,000-yard receivers. Quincy Enunwa was really good. Nobody saw what Ryan Fitzpatrick was going to do that year. He wasn't even supposed to be the starter. It was, oddly enough, Geno Smith was supposed to be the starter. Chris Ivory had a really strong year. So again, do we think that Breece Hall can have a better year than Chris Ivory? Absolutely. Is Geno capable of doing what Ryan Fitzpatrick did? Absolutely. Do they have the collection of wide receivers that can give you that production? Yeah, but I think the offensive line is just as good. I can't remember who was. I know there was still Mangold and Brick, but who were the guards then? Was it still B. Moore?
In 2015, you're talking about?
Yeah, was that Willie Colon?
Colon got hurt that year. B. Moore was gone already.
He was gone.
I think it was like James Carpenter was one of the starters.
Yes.
Right
tackle wasn't Giacomini. That was after, right?
I think it might have been Bruno Giacomini.
Yeah, Giacomini.
Yeah, 2015 Jets roster.
Offensive line.
It's a good question. Let's take a look, because it was definitely Mangold and Brick. I'm pretty sure Carpenter was one of the starters.
Was it Slauson?
Brian Winters was the right guard.
Wow. Okay.
Brian. So it was from left to right: Brick, Carpenter, Mangold, Winters, and Giacomini. That was a good offensive line.
Yeah, it was solid, and they stayed fairly healthy too. So if this line can stay healthy, yeah. Listen, August 8th, I'm rolling. I can see it. I see the vision.
Let's be positive. Love it.
Yeah.
Phil says Omari's a great guest. I agree. Omari, drop the link to your YouTube channel, by the way, so it's easier for people to find.
Gotcha.
If it won't let you do it in the chat, just put it in the private channel. I'll drop it as the moderator on the channel. Dana says rooting for L's in August is my wife has a boyfriend mentality. Ooh. I guess so. Barbarossa says happy poop. Happy poop to you too.
Right.
Barbarossa. Dylan Terraman says, dues put in the leg in leisure.
Man, you guys are out of control.
Nightbot writes in, Hogwarts rejected Beastbreaker so hard, the Sorting Hat just sighed and said, maybe try community college. Nightbot going after Beast again, I see. Veteran Jet fan says, what makes Jake's show so great is there's diverse opinions from fans and analysts. No echo chamber, Homer fanboy bullshit. Well, thank you, Veteran Jet fan. We have all sorts of people on the show. The one thing that unites us all is the New York Jets. Bad football. Passionate about it.
Could you imagine if this team was good?
No.
Like what would happen? No, seriously. Like how would we be? Like, I mean, I think that we're all insane now. I mean, we travel, we meet up, we argue. You know, Jake, you do content 4 hours a day. Like, what would happen if this team goes on like a 5-year sustained successful run? We wouldn't know how to act.
No.
We would, we wouldn't know how to act.
Imagine we were Ravens fans, like just a very good team, hasn't won a Super Bowl, but like in the mix every year. Like, that'd be incredible.
That'd be insane. But then we'd also find something to complain about because we're Yankees fans and we're complaining.
Yeah, but at least like we've seen them win, right? And like we know like the standard they used to have is not the standard. And I could go on for
that's
days
true.
about this,
Yeah, that's a whole other host. I do appreciate that though. You know, yeah, you're great. Yeah, you're a great fill-in for Michael K. Because
I'm doing it tomorrow. I found out my boss at ESPN forgot the Yankees have a day game tomorrow. So K's off, I'm in. So one show tomorrow, people. But you're going to get me on the radio for 2 hours, and I'm doing the Jets Collective with BT and Samini at 6. So I'm still doing 3 shows. They're just spread out on a different platform on each. YouTube on my personal channel tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., radio 1 to 3, and Jets Collective on the Collective YouTube channel at 6 p.m. Comments, questions, super chats, they cut the line. I'm going through some of the tweets from training camp here. And again, we're going to recap it in full with Frankie this afternoon when he comes on. There just was another fight. Costello saying that Dylan Parham looked to be in the middle of this one. Jelani Woods was also in the mix. So we've had 2 fights thus far in this joint practice after there was several yesterday. So this is typically what you get when you have joint practices. And the Jets, they didn't have any training camp fights before these 2 against the Bucs. Usually every team has training camp fights. The Jets hadn't had one with themselves. And I don't know why that was the case, but that was a little unusual because usually these things always happen.
Yeah. There's always after you hit the same person every day, it just gets like you just get tired of looking at people's faces. I remember that during camp, but it was good. Yesterday, you know, you want to keep the intensity like Leger said, but fights broke out like simultaneously at one time, like big scrums, and somebody got their helmet ripped off, and then a Bucs player threw it in the air, and then Chris Banjo made a nice running catch, and caught the helmet. So it was good. It was good to see, man. I like the physicality. Both defenses were tackling to the ground. It was just good football. Guys were flying around, but then everybody kept it safe too. Brady Cook threw a hospital ball, and the corner for the Buccaneers didn't absolutely light up the Jets running back. So again, I thought that it was physical, but within the realms of the game. So I thought it was good.
Ladies and gentlemen, our latest Patreon subscriber is listener Richie.x. Richie, I got you down. You signed up for the year, so you'll get 10 weekly raffle tickets applied for Sunday's raffle. Thanks for joining the Patreon. If you're trying to reserve tickets for Jets Dolphins, it is on the dashboard once you become a Patreon member. Make sure you connect to the Discord as well, which you now have access to as one of the perks of your Patreon membership. Jay writes in, Samini reporting a big fight, Frankie B versus Robbie Sabo.
Yeah, that's a good one. Not fair. Yeah, not fair though. Different weight classes. So they would definitely have to get a catch weight. Frankie's more like a light heavyweight. Robbie's going to be more of a featherweight. It's not a fair fight.
So Omari, I was telling you this off air. Yesterday we wrapped up the ASI Awards. We did all 22 awards that we had up for grabs, but the committee got together and said, wait, we forgot about one more that we had. So here's a bonus ASI award that we're going to vote on in the poll. This is truly the last chance to ever be a part of the 2026 ASI Awards. Our Lazy and Lacative Award is on the line today on the show. Bobby Midnight, Charles Gorman, and a ham sandwich are your nominees for the Lazy and Lacative Award. Your votes determine who wins our final Azzy. Ladies and gentlemen, voting is underway.
Cast your vote for the best. It's time for the Azzy Awards. It's time for the Azzy Awards. Cast your vote for the best. It's time for the Azzy Awards.
Who you got, Omari?
I'm going to go with ham sandwich.
Ham sandwich is a strong contender in this category. Real strong. Man. Gorman, Bobby, Beast. What a category. What a category. JD says 3-way overtime coming up. Mike says this is easy. John says Charles beating a ham sandwich 2-1. Veteran Jet fan says Charles. A lot of things happening in the Azzy Awards. Make sure you vote for our final Azzy Award of 2026. Before I let you run, Omari, since you were there yesterday, anything else catch your attention that you wrote down in your notes that we have yet to fully address?
No. Talked about the pre-snap motion. You talked about I will say this. The safety position, I think Dane Belton is clearly winning that job. And I think it is, not to harp on last year, because we've kind of moved back. I think those fourth rounders from last year, it's not looking good. I don't think Tyler Barron's going to make the team. Haven't heard anything about him. I haven't heard anything about Malachi Moore. I don't even know if he's in the mix for that strong safety role. So I think Dane Belton is ahead of that, and I think he should be. But you would like to see Malachi Moore pushing Andre Cisco for that safety 3 role. That's what I would say.
I really hope Belton wins the starting job. I just think give him a chance. He's made plays as a part-time player. He's made plays this summer. I kind of know what Andre Cisco is.
Exactly.
I want to take my chance with someone that we don't necessarily know all about yet.
Yeah, I'm all in favor of that. And especially, it seems like what they're going to do is when Minka's playing closer to the line of scrimmage or playing the slot or some box safety, it'll be Cisco playing deep third. And then when Minka's deep third, it'll be Belton. Just let Minka play deep third. He's a phenomenal ball hawk. And, Belton has a lot of ball production, and he's good close to the line. I believe he had over 100 tackles last year, so he's going to get active in the run game. I think just go with that. I think we've seen enough of Andre Cisco. He got beat for a touchdown in red zone. So again, I'm with you there. So that's one of the takeaways I would say. And Mason Taylor looks good blocking. He put Ruben Bain down. And I think I'm not saying anything new. The right side of that offensive line is really strong. And I think it's going to be one of those like sides of the offensive line where even if the run is going to the right, it's not going to be much that you can do. I think those guys are moving people.
Man, I hope we see it. Apparently, Ruben Bain, nice move to get around Armand Membu just now for a sack. Zach Rosenblatt says that's been a fun battle. That's practice, man. I mean, You talk about Ruben Bain, he's going to help get Armand Membu better, and vice versa. Will McDonald apparently had a big time win against where's the player's name? I saw something about. Oh, here it is. It's Will McDonald completely worked Ben Chukwukuma. That's from Pewter Report. So that's the Bucks reporter account. So, I mean, it seems like it's way more evenly matched than what yesterday was reported, just based on the initial tweets we're seeing from some of these drills and team drills that they're doing as well.
Good. That's what you want. Listen, when you got guys, I just wish Tristan Wirfs was out there. I was really ready to see some Bailey versus Wirfs and McDonald versus Wirfs, but we'll get that too. But yeah, man, all eyes are on Tennessee and the edge group and defensive line group as a whole versus that Titans offensive line, because I've got questions. If I was a Titans fan, I'd have concerns as well too. So I like what I'm hearing, but again, it's practice.
Amen to that one. Amen. Rick Kent says, not for nothing, but lacative, according to Google, is not an English word. It's not an English word. It's an Asmaniac word. Beast is the one who called someone lacative instead of he said lazy and lacative instead of lackadaisical. He used the term lacative. So that is the genesis of that word. So
yeah. What else did he say? You don't think that I'm not stupid? What did B say the other day? And I was like, I don't think he meant that. Do you
think I'm not stupid, son?
Great quote from Beast. Beast just said, quote, "Don't think I'm not stupid."
Damn right. And this, my folks, Get your brand new Ultimate T-shirt.
There we go.
Beast being beast.
The gift that keeps on giving.
He is the beast of it all. Omari, you're the man. This was a ton of fun. Can you tell the people again where they could find you? Drop the link to the YouTube channel in the chat so everyone can go subscribe right away.
Yeah, Jake, I just dropped it in our private chat. It's not letting me sign on. But yeah, guys, listen, Omari Brown TV, just exactly the way my name is spelled on screen right now. Just add TV. Listen, I'm excited to bring you guys the Green Room, a Jets live show, and that's going to be the name of the show going forward. We're going to do player interviews, all 22 breakdowns, post games, pre games, and we're also going to keep it light. I want to, eventually do a lot of player interviews and giving you a different avenue of player foresight. I'm excited, man. It's going to be powered by Jets X Factor. So I'm really looking forward to the season. Again, I'm humbled and grateful, obviously, for Jake. I always shout you out, man. You gave me an opportunity to come here and share my thoughts. So I'll always be appreciative of you and the Asmaniacs and this entire community that's always given me such positive feedback and also held me accountable and tell me, where I need to get better. So come by, either, go to Jake's show, stop by for mine. Let's learn together. Let's grow together and go Jets.
It's in the live chat now, people. I'm also going to put it in the description for those of you who aren't watching the show live. I was just subscriber number 11, Omari, so people beat me to the punch, but I'm number 11.
I appreciate all 11 of you.
You're the man, Omari. Talk to you soon.
Later, Jake.
Omari Brown with us there. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. We need callers to keep this show going right now. Right now, there is no one on hold. So if you want in on the opportunity, there is no better time right now than to call the show. Be a part of the greatness that is the Asmaniac community. Also, want to let people know, so those tuning in late, Frankie V, who's at practice right now, is our guest this afternoon. We'll go live at 4 p.m. Eastern with him and break down in full what we're seeing on the practice field today. For those of you who missed yesterday's show, the Nightbot continues his attack on Beast. Here's a quick highlight to get you caught up to speed on where things currently stand.
Nightbot.
Suck it, pal.
I am Nightbot.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you know
I
what?
am Nightbot.
Hey,
Oh my god.
you're
I am Nightbot.
Oh my god.
that could have been a great scene
I
for
am Nightbot.
Oh my god.
Shut up, you
I
fuck.
am Nightbot.
Oh my god.
Stringing the cheese?
Why not?
I am Nightbot.
Oh my god.
Get a life.
Oh my god.
I'm not fucking happy right now.
I
Nuts.
am Nightbot.
This Nightbot.
Oh my god.
That kind of day between Beast and the Nightbot. Ladies and gentlemen, call-in link is pinned in the chat. If you don't see it, remove the poll by clicking on the poll and hit remove, and it will be there. We might need to run a new poll. Who will be angrier about this poll? Charles, Beast, and Bobby. But right now, at least in the early vote, the final Azzy for lazy and lacative, Charles Gorman running away with this one with 54% of the vote. Ladies and gentlemen, to your calls we go. There's one man currently on hold. So if you're not happy about his presence, it's your fault. Call in. Otherwise, you got nothing to complain about.
Beast, like Robo Beast.
Hello, Beast.
Where's the fucking 10-pack that they had just in the paper? This is not the colors I want. Green, blue, purple. Are you serious? Are you serious? Really? Are you not serious?
And he's gone. Well, that went nowhere. Let's get to more of your calls now, shall we? Ladies and gentlemen, up next on the Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline.
Extraordinary. Extraordinary. That's extraordinary. That's extraordinary. That's extraordinary. That's extraordinary. It's quite extraordinary. Quite extraordinary. You know, women shouldn't vote. Just do laundry and vacuum. Extraordinary.
What up, Jake?
Hello, Gary.
What do you think in Beast's shopping cart? Like, what does he put in a shopping cart?
Vegetables, lettuce, steak, chicken, salmon.
I don't think there's any steak or salmon in there. I think it's mostly food that comes in a box that's loaded with preservatives. I think he's gonna have a lot of cereal in there, probably Pop-Tarts.
You really can't win with certain people, Gary, because You know, I go to Beast, his line craps out. People complain about Beast being on the show. I go to you, and Frank says, I come back and this dope is on. So you just can't make everyone happy at the same time.
You can't. You can't be all things to all people. So don't even worry about it.
Are you calling in for a victory lap because Arian Smith caught a 50-yard touchdown?
A little bit. yeah. Cade to Arian Smith. This is something you're going to be hearing for years to come. This is like this
in the XFL.
This is the new Montana to Rice. You heard it here. You heard it here first. Cade to Arian Smith, 50-yard bomb. You're going to be hearing a lot of that. But yeah, don't worry about making people happy. If what I do is satisfying to God, if what I do is satisfying to my wife, I don't really care what the other 8 billion people on earth say. It really doesn't matter. Keep that in mind. I wanted to ask you first. Yeah, I did call it about Cade to Arian Smith. I saw that. I lit up like a Christmas tree. That made my hell yeah. One of the best deep balls we've seen in camp in team drills. I say we start him right now. Let's just start Cade. Let's just do it.
He's gonna play. He's gonna play a lot in the preseason.
We're gonna get a good look. Yeah. The good thing is if he plays great in the preseason, people are gonna react. The bad thing is if he plays bad in the preseason, people are gonna overreact. It's the
they're gonna get it. They're gonna have to get a veteran if he plays poorly. Have to.
Okay. I mean, I know. I Frankie and Sabo, like, oh, maybe it was Blewett. I think it was Blewett and Sabo. Maybe they were talking last week about getting Andy Dalton. If you look, Andy Dalton is equally as Texan as Cade Klubnik. If we're gonna play Andy Dalton, the season's over. So why not just play Cade? I'm being serious. If you're gonna go get a guy like Andy Dalton, just play Cade Klubnik, and
because Andy Dalton might be better than Cade.
No, for sure. But
the coach is trying to save his but the coach is trying to save his job. So. Like we're looking at it through like the season's over. Who cares? Glenn knows the difference in him winning 6 games versus 7 is him having a job or not. So he's going to play the guy that he thinks gives him the best chance.
That segues nicely into my next point. You said if we're 0-4, and I'm not trying to be that guy. I think we're going to be 0-4. I think we'll be 3-5, but I think we'll be 0-4.
So you think they're going to be 3-5 if they start 0-4?
Yeah, because you have the Browns, you have the Raiders, and you have the Dolphins.
But that just assumes that they're going to win those games.
I can't pick 0-17, Jacob. I can't. They're not going to lose all their games. They're going to win some games.
I understand, but like just to flip it that quickly. Oh, they start 0-4, and now they just magically just beat teams in their own weight class. Like why didn't they beat the Titans in your scenario then?
Because it's on the road and the Titans are going to be psyched up for that game. That's a big game for obviously their coach, right? The coach wants to win that one more than the other 16 on the schedule. That one means a lot to them. They could win that one, and they better win that one. I just don't. Whenever I say the Jets better win this week, they never seem to win.
I just don't win ever, so that's part of it.
Yeah, that's a good bet. That's a good bet. Like week 1 is winnable, but like I said, if you're a Titans fan, you're expecting to win that game. Home for the Jets. Like if we were home for the Titans. You put that as an easy dub, right? You would.
It's not an easy dub.
If you're doing your W's and L's, and you have
Tennessee doesn't have this crazy home field advantage. Like there's gonna be a ton of Jet fans there. They're not going. They're not going into Lambeau to open the year. They're not going to Seattle to watch the Seahawks raise a banner. Like they're playing a fellow 3-win team that has an entirely new coaching staff.
Which brings me to my point. You said something that if we go 0-4, you're going to be rooting for losses.
Yes.
I will never, Jake, if I'm not, this is not a threat. It's a promise. I'm not threatening like, oh, I'm not going to listen anymore. If we're 0-4 and it's still October, like if it's the middle of October and we're rooting for losses, I'm done. I can't take the negative.
I'm not going to be like actively like, yeah, let's go Dylan Gabriel or let's go Shador. But I'm not going to be sitting there after they start 0-4 and like find any joy in them winning. Like I'll cover the team. We'll talk about what happens. Hopefully there's young players that are playing well. So even if they are losing, we still could be like, well, David Bailey's having a really good rookie year or something like that. But I don't have it in me to pretend like these wins somehow matter for culture. Look how many teams had new coaches last year and flipped it immediately in year 1. That could be the Jets in 2027, whether they win 2 games or they win 6 games. It doesn't matter. I'd rather win 2 and have a new coach and have the top to get my.
I'm with you. I still watch the Mets as often as I can. They've got shut out for the 13th time this season last night. Okay, 13 times. That's 1 out of 9 games they've been shut out. That doesn't even seem real. I watched every single minute of my Brooklyn Nets last year. And last year, in the middle of the season, when the Jets were last place, season tanking, and I was doing a mock draft, you gave me crap. If you root for a tank, I can't. I'll see you.
But how is me?
I can't do it. I can't.
I'm not going to be like. But I'm not. I wouldn't be negative. I would just. It's in the best interest of the franchise. If they win, I'm not going to be like, how could they go out there and win? Because teams don't players don't tank. You know, it's stupid to blame Frank Gore for the Jets beating the Rams in 2020. Like players play. My point would be, in the big picture, are the Jets better off winning 6 games if they started 0-4, or are they better off if they started 0-4? Finishing with 4 or fewer wins and getting a higher pick? What's better long-term?
I hear you. They're going to draft a quarterback. Right now, can you definitively tell me between Moore, Manning, Sayin, Meestermaker, which one's the best? Can you definitively tell me which one's the best?
No one can, because we haven't played the season yet.
Then why are we trying to tank?
I'm not trying to tank.
We don't
I want them to win. I want them to win.
If they're 0-4, I want you to keep that energy. If they're 0-4,
if they're 0-4, the season's over, Gary. Done.
It's over, but we still have games to play, right?
Right, so I will watch the games. I'm not saying I'm stopping. This is my job. I'm not quitting. I'm not going to be like, well, the Jets are 0-4. See you guys. I'm never doing another live show again.
And you're going to root for the Jets. If they're 0-4, you're going to root for the Jets.
I will root for the young players to play well, and if they happen to win, I'm not going to be like, how could they do? Like, I'm not going to be like, oh, I hope Garrett Wilson drops this touchdown. If they win, I won't feel any joy in it. And if they lose, it'll be better.
The last 2 years, I get, well, the Nets win a game. We need the number 1 pick. Like, stop. Like, I've seen so much losing in my life.
I get it. I get it.
All right.
But like, there's a difference in like what I know is best long term, and also like in the moment, I'm not going to be like, man, I hope Mason Taylor drops this. I want the young guys to look good and play well. I just know at 0-4, we're not playing for anything at that point. Like all this talk of progress and improvement, no. You can't start 0-7 and then you can't be 0-11 through your first 11 games at the start of the first 2 seasons and then expect me to buy into any nonsense Glenn's going to be telling us that they beat the Bills backups week 18 to finish, with 6 wins on the year. You know what I mean?
What is your prediction for wins?
I was at 6, and I think I'm going to end up being either at 5 or 6 when we start the year, assuming there's no more injuries. I don't like the Sadiq stuff. I don't like how Pons hasn't practiced yet. I don't like that Tavondre Sweat, there's been no updates on him. I think these are bigger deals than people are making. So I'm at 6 with subject to move down to 5 pending preseason.
I'm at 5. So you're picking them to win week 1, right? I think that's the difference.
I want them to win week 1. I don't know if I should feel that confident in it.
I hear.
I think if they lose week 1, they're starting 0-4. So they better win week 1.
I think they're going to start 0-4, and then it's going to be like a funeral in here starting in October. And
probably, but the light is at the end of the tunnel. We'll have one of the top picks in the draft. We'll get a quarterback, and even before that, someone good's going to want this job because it's an attractive job.
You're right. If we get a top 4 pick and the quarterbacks pan out, right? If those 4 quarterbacks pan out, we're picking in the top 4. You're right. Someone's going to want this job. So there is a silver lining. We're probably going to draft the right quarterback. Yeah, like whoever is the worst of those 4 quarterbacks.
But like they drafted the right quarterback with Sam. They just failed him. At least like we feel like this roster could support a young quarterback.
Even Gino wasn't a bad pick.
And he was a second rounder though, so it's different.
But still, a second round pick's a big investment. Like a second round pick, you're planning on starting that guy at some point. Maybe not right away, but
yeah. I mean, I think he was the first pick of the second round too that year. So yeah, I mean, look, no one wants to root for losses, but you can't tell me if they start 0-4, it's in their best interest to win a bunch of games. Like at that point, it's over. You're done.
I sat through 2 basketball seasons where every Nets fan rooted for them to lose every game, other than me and Connor Long. Every other Nets fan wanted them to lose every game.
Here's the thing, too, Gary. How you root has no impact on the team. Because if it did, the Jets wouldn't be on a 15-year playoff drought right now.
The Browns would be the 2 best teams in the league. I know, right?
If how Jet fans rooted mattered, the Jets would be the Jets would be the Kansas City Chiefs right now.
But I can't have the negativity. Like I can't.
It's reality. It's not negativity. Win games. I'll be positive. I'm the guy who picked the Jets to win 12 games in 2023 and 2024.
I picked them to win 11 and 13. So we both picked 24 wins. So that didn't happen. But I'm not saying like just root for the Jets to win. I don't want to come on in October.
I'm going to Nashville. You think I'm there rooting for them to lose?
I don't think so.
If
All
they're
right.
0-4, what benefit is there to root for wins?
I don't know. 0-4, the season's not over. I mean, it is, but it isn't. Like,
If we
0-4,
believe
you
10
can
wins
still go
is what it's going to
9-7
take,
and sneak your way into
Gary,
the playoffs.
Gary, if they need 10 wins to make the playoffs and they start 0-4, that means over their final games, they can only lose 3 more times. It's not happening.
Let's say they can sneak in somehow. They probably can't, but let's say they can sneak in the playoffs at 9-8. They probably can't, right? But let's just say that's on the table. Okay, you finish 0-4, 9-4. I mean, it's probably not going to happen. No one would bet on it, right? When the Knicks were down 28 or whatever it was to San Antonio at halftime, and I called it Addy. Addy said they're going to lose. I said they're probably going to lose, but the game's not over. Like, the Knicks could come back. It's not over, right? Like,
You're comparing the Knicks, who were in the NBA Finals.
I'm not talking about the Jets winning the Super Bowl. I'm talking about the Jets making the playoffs. I'm talking about
they started 0-4.
Talking about the Jets making the playoffs, not winning the Super Bowl like the Knicks did in their sport. I'm talking about them just making the play, just being one of the. It's not going to happen most likely, right? But what I'm saying is, it's not over. Like, let's play the games.
We're going to play the games, but it's over.
I probably, yes, probably.
When they started 0-3, and I said it was over, and I destroyed Glenn for having the balls to say this is not the same old Jets as you blew the game late after the comeback against Tampa. It was over. I was right. People don't like that I was right, but I was right. We know what it looks like. We're smart fans. We know if they start 0-4, we know what it looks like. It will look exactly like what it looked like with Gase. We knew it was over. When the Jets lost that game to the Denver Broncos on Thursday Night Football to Brett Ripien, and they fell to 0-4 that season, that was it for Sam Darnold as a Jet. They were going to try and they were going to be bad enough to take Trevor Lawrence or someone else in the draft, and we knew it was over for Gase. It was over at 0-4. It's done. They started 1-7 in year 1 with Gase. They started 0-4 in year 2. That was the moment I knew it was done. And they ended up starting 0-12 or 0-13 in 2020.
We got to get the coach to the quarterback right. But you're right that we haven't even gotten the quarterback that wrong. It's just been the development of the quarterback that we've messed up on.
Zach was wrong, but Sam was right. They could have made it work with Gino. Gino was in the right situation. And also, Gino did it to himself. Who knows what Gino could have done with the 2015 team if he didn't get punched out by IK Manapali.
Gino, yeah. It could have worked out with Gino. It didn't. I don't even think we really messed on. I wouldn't have traded up for Sanchez, but like Sanchez wasn't bad. I'll never understand the hate that Sanchez gets. Sanchez was never that bad. I think we ruined him, but like I don't even think we missed on Sanchez. It was probably overdrafting, but Sanchez wasn't a bust. Sanchez didn't suck. Like we really haven't missed that badly on the pick. What we've missed on is the development and keeping him here. Anyway, I voted for Charles. I think Charles is. I think Charles. Do we have an update on that poll?
Yeah, Charles is up 51%. He's dominating.
Yeah, I think Charles. I think Charles is a lock.
I think you're right.
Charles is pretty lazy
and lackative.
And I don't. That is a beast. But I looked it up, and it's not a word. But now I do remember the origin story of that to some degree. I remember Beast saying that. Beast has his own language. Like Shakespeare made up the word bump. Did you know that?
Really?
Yeah. Shakespeare made up a lot of words that we now use in the English language. Sure. Yeah.
Bump. Well, Gary, I'm going to play this for you. Sit back and enjoy it, all right?
I give credit to players who are not lazy. People think I don't want to work. I can't stand lazy people. I just had a bit of a nap not too long ago, too, so that didn't help. Fuck you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Charles Gorman. More of your calls right now. There's a man on the line that goes by the name Mad Max.
Oh my God. What's up, as Maniacs? How you guys doing? So I kind of agree with Gary that, we shouldn't have this tanking conversation. Everyone's like, oh my God, we need a tank for a quarterback. Come on, we need to win games, Jake. We need to win. Stop with this negativity of the tanking. And even then with the quarterbacks in 2027, we should get Baker Mayfield. Like, come on. It's a crapshoot with the quarterbacks. We don't know if they're going to perform in the 2026 quarterbacks. I'd rather spend $50 million on Baker Mayfield, who's at least good, took the Buccaneers to the playoffs. We haven't made the playoffs in 15 years, guys. What do you guys want? Another decade quarterback purgatory? Like, come on. Just get Baker Mayfield. If he's on the market, I would pay him $50 million. That was a Jets. If I was John, oh my God. I would pay Baker $50 million if he was on the market. I mean, oh my God. He's like a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. Look at his statistics. 41 touchdowns, 16 interceptions. That'll be the best Jets quarterback season since Ryan Fitzpatrick in 2020. Oh my God. Second point I have is the Tampa Bay game. I think the score prediction, Jake, we're going to win 24-20. What's your thoughts on that, Jake? Good job. And is Gary still on the line? I want to argue Arian Smith. He's like, oh my God, he'd be impressive. Like, really? Against the practice squad, really.
Gary, 50-yard catch, one of the most impressive catches and throws all season.
Oh my God. Gary, do you think he's going to do that in the regular season? I mean,
yes, I think we'll have.
Gary, this happened in practice. Do you want to see let's see if it happens in regular season, but we shouldn't have our hopes high, Gary. Let's be realistic as fans. You know, he had a good catch in practice against the Jets defense, who sucked last year.
Let me ask you, why shouldn't we have high expectations for Arian Smith, 4th round pick? Great player at Georgia, a great season at Georgia. Why should we not have expectations for him? I think we should.
I mean, okay, Gary. He's got to practice. Our defense is shit. You know, we had 0 interception. If you played a top defense like a Chiefs, what would he do? He's probably he might drop the ball. He might catch it. He's unproven, Gary.
He's still the fastest guy in the field. Like, if he's the fastest guy in the field and you can put the ball on him, you can make a play. That's what I'm saying. Put the ball
isn't Isaiah Williams fit that role, Gary? Doesn't Isaiah Williams fit that role? Like, better.
Why are we doing this with Isaiah Williams? Like, right now we have Arian Smith.
He's better. Isaiah Williams is better than Arian Smith. Like, honestly, Gary, be honest ourselves. He's a better kick returner. He's a better player. Arian Smith can't be a kick returner. He doesn't play special teams. You know, Isaiah Williams showed his speed with special teams. Like, come on. And honestly, Gary, who do you think should win the Lazy and Lacking award? I think B should win that award.
Charles. But this Isaiah Williams thing. What has Isaiah Williams ever done in the NFL? Like, he's played 2 seasons. What does he have? 100 yards? Like, what does he have? Why are we making Isaiah Williams out to be the truth? I don't understand this.
I mean, Gary, it's because at least he's a better kick returner than I'm not saying he's gonna be a wide receiver. He's a better kick returner than Arian Smith. He's a better player than Arian Smith. Oh my God. If I get cut next season, Arian Smith, I'll be honest with you, Gary.
All right, well, let's see how this year goes before we cut him next year.
Good job.
If Xavier Gibson can make the team 3 years in a row, I think Arian Smith can.
Let me ask you a question. I don't know why is all the Jets fans. I agree with you. Why are the Jets fans only gloom and doom? You know, I was saying I agree with you on the points. We shouldn't worry about tanking. And everyone's like, oh my God, we shouldn't sign Baker Mayfield. Oh my God, really, Gary? All these Jets fans are doom gloom. I'm like, I mean, it's such a thing with quarterbacks. It's such a crapshoot, Gary. Like, you don't know. Like, everyone was saying in 2020, 2025, oh, the 2026 quarterback class will be stacked. Look, Stellar sucks. All the other quarterbacks suck except for Mendoza. Do you think Master Baker's going to do hard? Like, they could drop back. You know, I'd rather get someone proven like Baker Mayfield on the ball. I'll pay him $50 million. I mean, he's the best.
Yeah, but if you can get a quarterback on a rookie deal, that makes the rest of your life easier because you're saving so much money on the quarterback. That's why quarterback's overdrafted.
It depends on pick. I think it's a too early conversation, but I want the Jets to Baker Mayfield right now. But that team, I give you time about the Bucs, you know.
I would take Mayfield too, for sure. You want to go get Mayfield, go get Mayfield. But I'm saying trying to hit on quarterback in the first round is how you build a team, because now you've saved so much money on quarterback, right? Instead of paying your quarterback $60 million, you can pay him $14 or whatever the rookie price tag is, and then you can spend the other $45 million on everything else. What do you think's in Beast's cart? What do you think he has?
My God. I don't even know, Gary. Probably a lot of snacks, like fried chips and not like grilled man food, like meat and like vegetables, not anything healthy.
Gary, I don't want to hear this guy's attitude.
If you want to look at what not to do, look at Beast, right? If you want to see what do I not want to become when I'm 40
I take
years
my
old?
advice from Lou B, because Lou B's a smarter man, and you're about 40% decent, but Lou B has more brains than you. You're as consistent as pigeon shit, and I'm talking, and that's under the bag of square.
Is your brains in your fucking ass? with my kids yesterday during our Bible study. We're doing Proverbs 13, and it was 13:4. Lazy people want much but get little, but those who work hard prosper. Just keep that in mind when you see him.
That's so true. And
no
you know,
secret
also,
recipe.
and
There's
also,
no
Gary,
secret
another
recipe.
Proverbs verse. Proverbs 27:17. Bad company corrupts good character.
Yeah, it's a company. I have that hanging on my fridge. I have a magnet of that.
That's a good verse. Best verse of all time. And also, you know, one thing we're Beast is probably sweet right now, and he doesn't have 35 world ballots. I can't.
All right, stop right there. Stop right there. I warned you about this yesterday. Now you're gonna get hammered. When I come up there, I'm gonna.
This is directed towards Man Max. You're officially suspended after I have repeatedly said no more insulting my titles, and you refuse to listen. I'm sorry. You have no respect towards me or the show. You think of yourself and your bad pride. This will land you in trouble. After what you have done today, I want a sincere apology, and this is it. No more brawls, no more fights. It's hard on me after all the things you have done. For my sake, a formal apology, and then you will be accepted back onto the Jake Asman Show. And once you're back on the show, no more fighting me as of this moment in time. Thank you.
Good job.
Done. Finished. Benito, grande, Docha. Away with you. Yeah. Well, you know what? I'm gonna say it like Gordon Ramsay. You away. Get away from the kitchen. Get away from the table. Out of here. Scrap. I gotta go pay.
Wow, Beast throwing Mad Max in the hole. I didn't even know he could do that. Last chance to get in on the show. Raffle for those of you just tuning in is a signed Chad Pennington helmet. We've added 11 new channel members during the show. I'm going to make it 12. So if you want a gifted membership, you have to be subscribed to my channel. You have to like the video and have the setting turned on that you want to receive a gifted channel membership. I'll put you in the raffle if you're the name called here. Ready? Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gifted membership. Fire it away.
Let's go. J-E-T-S, Jets.
It went to Larry Romano, who is a total D-bag. You know, he hates the show, yet he watches everything I say. So, not thrilled with that one. But Larry, rules are rules. And I'm a man of principle, so I will put you in the raffle for one, even though you are a douche nozzle. With that said, let's get back to your outstanding calls. Mike E is on the line. What's up, Mike?
Hey, how you doing, Jake?
Hey, Mike.
Sorry, give me a second because I can't seem to.
You can't hear me?
Since I can't hear you, I'll go ahead and ask my questions. And
Can
then
you
I'll
hear
hop
me?
Off here. But
Can you hear me?
I wanted to ask you, what are your real expectations for AD Mitchell?
I can't hear you. Talking to the mic.
Give me just a second.
Sounds like we need a tech guy.
When a caller sounds like shit and the show's about to split, you need some tech support, call Beast. Bring on the flabby tits. Beast Breaker.
All right, can you hear me?
Ladies and gentlemen, Mike E, are you listening? Or I'm going to say this once. Go to your phone settings. Go to your phone settings.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Go to your power settings. Power settings on your phone where the button is when you turn on the power. You're going to restart.
All right, there we go.
Can
you hear me okay?
Yes, I can. But here's the thing. You're going to restart your whole entire
Hey, Jake,
program
I'll be
on your
right
phone.
back. I need to try to fix this.
When a caller sounds like shit and the show's about to split, you need some tech support, call Beast. Bring on the flabby tits. Beast Breaker.
Mike, keep trying, man. Beast had you on the right path there. Thunder Lips. Super chat, $20 in the raffle for 4. He says, put me in the raffle. Jake, you're beautiful no matter what they say. Words can't bring you down. Well played.
Good job.
Thank you, Mr. Thunder Lips. Very kind of you. We got you down in there for 4. Keep rolling with your calls before we wrap this baby up. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a man on the line that we call Ricky NY.
Ricky, New York is my name. Florida State is my game. My internet sucks, call him Jake. When it's time to smoke and debate, the New York Jets are gonna win. My team since I was a kid. My New York Jets are gonna win. I'm Ricky, New York. Don't forget that. Florida State, bitches. New York Jets, we got this shit. It's time to win, baby. Win. Can't wait.
What's happening, Jake?
Hey, Ricky.
We're probably going to need a new intro for me because there's no more smoking and debating. It has now been 63 hours since my last cigarette. So,
are you retired from cigarettes?
Yes, I am. Officially. It was a rough the first couple of days, but my sense of smell is starting to come back. I'll tell you what, like after not smoking for a couple of days, they fucking stink. Like I can't blame you for wanting to launder stuff that I've mailed you in the past.
Oh yeah, I had to fumigate my apartment.
Yeah, it's probably gonna take a while to get the smell out of this place for sure. But hey, you know what? Every journey starts out, tough in the beginning, but
I like you, Ricky. Well, I'm rooting for you, man. I hope you keep this thing going. That's great news.
Yeah, I will. It's long overdue. So, at any rate,
what about pot? Is it just cigarettes or all smoking?
No, it's gonna be all smoking. The last time that I got my medical stuff, they switched me to all edibles because they don't want me smoking that either.
Now that is a hot take. Damn.
Wow, that's big time.
Yeah, so it is what it is. It was long overdue and needed. So, but hey, got to be in tip top shape this year. This is the year the Jets come back. This is the year we start our journey back towards the top. So, got to be in shape for it. Looking forward to it. I think your last caller was trying to ask about expectations for AD Mitchell. The 62 catches for 843 yards and 8 touchdowns, like I've been saying. He is locked in, I believe, as our number 2, and I can't wait for it. As far as the Arian Smith thing, that was a nice catch that he made in practice. However, I honestly think that he's kind of a long shot to make the team. I have to disagree with Gary. Arian Smith has had more drops than my old internet did. So, I would kind of be surprised if he even actually makes the team at this point. But I'm looking forward to this year. Tampa Bay coming up day after tomorrow. I think we're in for a good showing. Can't wait.
I like it. Well, Ricky, keep going, man. Good luck, all right?
All right, man. Have a great day, Jake.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ricky and
Just don't let go of the rope.
63 hours without smoking for Ricky. This, by the way, from the Jets is the touchdown that Klubnik threw to Arian Smith. That was a bomb. Good crowd pop, too. Garrett loves it. Maurice loves it. Do we recognize any Asmani? Oh, I see Lou B. Is that not Lou B right there? And J Quest? I think that's Lou B right there. Dead center. J Quest is in the first row. Lou B directly behind him. Do I know my listeners or what? Look at a bomb, though. Look at that spiral. Look at the spiral by Cade. I'm chubbing. The most shocking part of this video is Arian Smith caught it. Let's see this in the preseason starting Friday. Yeah, look at Lou B. Love it. Just keep going, Arian Smith. Make plays, baby. You want to be on this team. Our guy, the Turtle, was on the line, but he crashed out. He did write his question in, though. He says, What his question is about AD and Klubnik, what the expectations are from him. Look, Klubnik was a day 3 pick. If he plays, I don't think it's till the end of the year unless Gino's hurt. I wouldn't expect much. If he can develop into being a long-term backup, you'll take that. AD Mitchell's an unknown. I mean, he's entering the year clearly as their number 2 wide receiver. He's getting a real chance to play. He's a talented player. He was a second-round pick 2 years ago. AD Mitchell was thought to be just a throw-in in the Sauce deal. I mean, I bet you Indy would like to have him right now with some of their injuries at wide receiver and some of the guys they lost in free agency. So I'm not sure. But I'm more bullish about AD Mitchell being a Jet long-term than I am Cade Klubnik. That's for sure. Mason Taylor had a really nice catch as well. This is from the Jets. Let's play it. Yeah. Is that Gino throwing it? Looks like it is. Yep. So it's Gino. Throwing a TD. Love it. We need a big year for Mason Taylor. Let's call it for what it is. No Sadiq. Need Mason. Is that Woody clapping right there? Oh, yeah. Right in front of Dick Johnson. Look at Woody. Look at Woody. Yeah. Does Woody even know what a touchdown is? Right there. There's Woody. Like, oh, wow, the forward pass. Love it. Good stuff from Mason Taylor and Arian Smith there. Go Jets. Mike E., a.k.a. the Turtle Club, is on the line. Mike, can we hear you this time?
Yes, sir. I can actually hear you this time.
All right. Also, you can't go by Mike E. We're calling you the Turtle Club.
That's fine. You know, it's ironic because what brought up my question was I spent a lot of time in the Carolina camp this year. My former Pee Wee coach and high school coach was a team doctor for the Panthers, so he's gotten me into their training, and one of their players kind of pushed me into looking at Cade Klubnik's film from college. So I kind of was like, I've been delving into it. Him, Haynes King, and AD Mitchell, and that's kind of what sparked my whole question was, okay, what are our real expectations? Like, is there potential that he can flourish as a number 2? Where he's just, he's hurting the same way that a lot of our other players are hurting without real quarterback and coaching. And, Kate Klubnik, his college numbers were consistent. I really like what I see, and I'm not entirely sold he's a backup and a backup only. Like, I really think that he has a chance to be a starter.
2 years ago, yes, he was thought to be like a first-round guy, potentially. He didn't have a good final season at Clemson. Now, you talk to people around Clemson, they'll say Clemson was just a mess. They didn't have a good coaching staff. There were a ton of injuries. Cade played through some injuries as well. And we see this in college. Like, it's hard to consistently be good.
Yeah, I mean, 12 games in, he had 3,000 yards, 16 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. I mean, still playing on a hurt season with that crap show of organization that year. I mean, he still walked away with a 139 QB rating in a hard conference. So, I mean, it's I kind of set the standard that I'd like to see him get a shot this year. And what do you think it would take for him to really start? Would we have to completely go 0-7, 0-8 for them to bring him in, or is there a
Yeah.
chance that we go like 1-4, maybe that they look at him and say, okay, well, let's see what happens.
I think Aaron Glenn is going to be very hesitant to play Cade Klubnik until Gino's either hurt and there's no other option, or he's being forced to play him late in the year. The Jets are out of it, because I just think Gino is significantly better than Klubnik. So they're going to give Gino every chance to try and win games and save Glenn's job. If we get to the part of the year where the Jets are clearly out of it, their bye week is week 13. They'd have 5 games after that. I could see Klubnik starting the final 5 games, and you evaluate him down the stretch if it's already a lost season. But he's going to play. You'll
Just
see
out
him.
of curiosity, let's say after the bye week he starts those 5 weeks. What would it take for him to get his shot as a starter next year? Would it take him going 5-0, 4-1, 3-2? Like, what would you like to see for him to at least earn a shot at starting next year, whether it be as a transitional quarterback or to get the legitimate shot at QB1?
I don't think he's going to have any chance over 5 games to just, he plays so well, they're like, you're the guy. I think he could put himself in the conversation where they're still drafting someone, but he gets a chance to compete for the starting spot. Remember, Kellen Clemens competed with Mark Sanchez in 2009? So I could see something like that where maybe Klubnik could play well enough where he could start the year before the rookie would take over at some point. But I don't think there's anything he could do over those 5 weeks where it's like, we got our guy. We're not going to invest in quarterback now with one of our 3 first-round picks.
That's fair. I know we're going after a quarterback next year. I think that goes without saying. And I just in the back of my head, I think between Haynes King and Cade Klubnik, I think those are 2 guys that a lot of people discounted in the draft, and I think those are 2 guys that can potentially be long-term starters in the right situation. So that's kind of where I was like, okay, well, you have much more access than I do. Have you really given the film a watch like I have? So, but I trust your judgment on that more so.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think if you look at, how the season goes, it will dictate a lot for playing time for some of these guys. But there's a real path for, I know you asked about AD and Klubnik. Like, these guys are all going to get opportunities here, especially AD. AD is their number 2 receiver.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'm a numbers guy, and I've told you that a couple of times before. Like, I follow the analytics, and if everything goes how I think it's going to go, AD Mitchell, I think, is going to have an explosive year this year with Garrett. Our offense should be somewhat competitive in the mid group between 12 and 16. It's just the big question mark is how does our quarterback situation pan out, and what are we going to do on defense? I know Bailey was a huge upgrade. I know that our defense got an injection of talent in the defense, the tackle department, but we're still hurt in the back. Like, can we generate enough pressure to kind of alleviate the DB situation where we're kind of hurt between cornerbacks and safety?
I have concerns with the secondary. I think getting Pons out there healthy and seeing if he's as good as he's believed to be should help, but he's not healthy yet. And so how many good years does Minka have left? And like AZ Thomas, he's got to prove that he's truly deserving of being a starter. I think Stevens is probably a number 2 more than a number 1. There's questions. Hopefully Dane Belton keeps playing well and he could push Cisco off the starting rotation.
Oh, absolutely. Jake, I want to say thank you for having me, and wasn't entirely prepared to kind of have an extended conversation because this is the first time I've actually called in a couple months. If you haven't noticed, I've cut my hair off completely.
You look good, Turtle Club. You need a barber?
Hey, yeah, a barber shop by the there's a school up by my road that does like that trains barbers and everything, so it's kind of like a win-win. I go in, I let the new barbers cut my hair, and the guy who did it Monday was phenomenal.
You're not nervous that since they're new, they're going to make a ton of mistakes?
Win-win. I mean, it's $10. I mean, what do you do with $10 normally? I mean, not terrible.
Fair point.
But anyway, Jake, I'll call in hopefully again in the next couple of days. I'm looking forward to seeing you and Frankie talk this afternoon because I do enjoy watching Frankie. More so than I do like a lot of other people that you have on. But I mean, Frank's awesome. I talk to him from time to time, as well as a couple other folks that are in the chat and that you have on as well. But that later show that afternoon with Frankie, I think is going to be pretty awesome. I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys do.
I appreciate it. Call in soon, Terror Club. Good call.
Yes, thank you, buddy.
Mad Max Rules has entered the studio. Can you hear me? Yo, can you hear me? What's up? Oh man. Good job. Yo, can you?
Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. You know what time it is? It's Gatorade time.
I am Nightbot.
Oh my god.
Shout out to that raining, beautiful. I just saw 3 or 4 flashes of lightning. Beautiful. And now I'm about to say this. My bus on its way, as they all say. We're gonna take another licking and keep on ticking and roll me up a fatty.
I am the global enforcer, Beastbreaker 666. You do eat chili. Here's a photo. Dubby. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha.
Suck my shorts, asshole! You suck!
Nightbot.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you suck Benadryl. That's what you
Nightbot.
Oh my god.
suck dick.
Attention, beast. I have reached out to your queen and offered her my hand in marriage. She will be my queen, you tub of shit!
Nightbot strikes back. We see there. John J. Williams in the Asmaniac raffle for a signed Chad Pennington helmet. He sent in his usual $10 L, 2 raffle tickets for our guy, John J. Papa Jet in the house. Good to see Papa Jet in the chat. He just gifted 5 channel memberships. Let's go.
Who wanna fly with them?
Five gifted memberships from Papa Jet. All right. Last chance to be part of today's show. We're back with Frankie this afternoon to recap practice. Ron L is up next. Hello, Ron.
Hey, Jake. How you doing? Let me get these off. I'm calling yesterday at the end of your show. You had Luppy on there. He was talking about, you guys were talking about Aaron Glenn, and, you know, he was talking about having a bullshitter at work that bullshits his way to success, to move up the ladder and stuff. And I'm telling you, Aaron Glenn, I believe, once again, I'm rooting for him because it means we do well if he does. But I just think he's such a good bullshitter that he talked Woody into this whole thing, into the belief of it. Same with changing, firing everybody, and everything that he's done. It's kind of calculated bullshit. And my fear is, with going into next year, if he does somehow, and you know it'd be luck, because I know you feel the same way, the things you saw, you talk about, scare you about him, same as me, is if he won just enough to sell it and bullshit his way again into another season when we're about to pick a quarterback. And I don't care about this year. I know this year's draft was supposed to, this one coming up, I mean, it really is legit. And can you imagine if we were lucky enough to get the first pick and it's Arch Manning, if he's the one? And anyway, we have this guy who bullshitted his way into coaching, into winning to stay another year. And now you have a possibly picking Arch Manning. I could see then the Mannings, they know football and they know what they see. Them being at that point, them being like, oh Jesus, not this coach. You know, it's a fear of mine that I've been thinking about a lot. And the thing is that coming into this season, save it is Arch or whoever the number one quarterback is, for the first time in so many years, our team will be the most attractive coaching job out there. At that point, coming in, like I said, the first overall pick, if it is Manning, can you imagine the hype? Who wouldn't want that job? You could almost get any coach that's out there that's an experienced, good coach.
I totally agree. It's why what gives Jet fans hope for the future potentially hurts Aaron Glenn, because if you're not sure after this year, how do you keep him? How do you waste a year with this top quarterback? You need to get a coach that could coach up your quarterback. You can't make the Sam Darnold mistake all over again, where you give him Bowles and then Gase as his coaches. You set the quarterback up for failure. And then we know in this market, if you struggle early, not everyone's built to be able to overcome that. Like Sam had to go somewhere else, multiple places, to really get his head back on track and become the player he now is. So I agree with you, Ron. Like if Aaron Glenn can't definitively prove he's the guy, why would you keep him when you could definitely get someone better? You can get the top offensive mind. You could get Mike Tomlin. You could get Sean McDermott. Maybe Kevin O'Connell's available. Maybe Shane Steichen. Like there's other guys out there who are clearly better than Aaron Glenn. So unless Glenn looks the part of a coach that I want to bring back his staff, if I'm not sure, my answer's already been made. There's no borderline here. It's not like, oh, Ty goes to Aaron Glenn because he played for the Jets. I could give a shit about that. It's either he's a good coach or he's not, and I got to know before I invest in offseason where I have 3 number 1 picks and one of them's going to a QB.
And look at both Harbaugh brothers. They went to places that had good young quarterbacks. These guys are going. They're going to go. They're going to come to you if you have a good quarterback. Chicago, the Bears. They're going to follow good quarterbacks. We have a good young quarterback situation. So we would definitely be the first time in years, a sought after team by some really good coach. So I wouldn't want to ruin that. Or like I said, imagine the press if Arch Manning's number 1, we have the number 1 pick, all the hype, we have Aaron Glenn as our coach, and somehow he did it like last year's 3 wins that were, for special teams, if somehow he just pulled it off and we all knew really what we had there as a coach, but the Mannings know too, and that they don't want him to go somewhere where he's going to end up like Sam Darnold or fail. So I'm not a believer, oh, look at the Jets, they ruin all the quarterbacks. We've had a bad run like that. You have a whole new coaching staff. If we're getting a new one next year, that's a whole new regime. I'm sorry. Even if we had Muji, you're bringing in a whole new group in. So that should be good. So it's not like the Jet jinx or anything. If you get the quarterback, you get a good coach. I go back to the 80s with Ken O'Brien and Joe Walton. He was okay. We had the sack exchange. We had the team. Let me tell you, if I have a minute, I go back to 1986. Before that, but 86, it's a Monday night. I didn't have season tickets yet. I'm walking around trying to scalp tickets. Nobody wanted to sell them. This kind of fan I am. I'm walking around with a buddy of mine. We're walking around the perimeter. We end up, the game's about to start. We jump the fence. We get chased by security, run around the big roundabout thing, get up there. We end up sitting watching the best game. Now, Denver came in 6-0. The Jets were 5-1. And it was so hyped up to go into that game. We beat them. End up sacking Elway in the end zone for safety. He throws the ball, I think, at Marty Lyons. Anyway, it was like, but to have that kind of feeling that your team is so good that they march out in the field and they're feared. We had, like I said, we had Gastineau and Klecko and all those guys. It was just through the years of those experiences. I want that again. I want it so bad. It's been so many years. And, we had some good runs with Herm and Rex and stuff. So that's a good feeling. But like I said, I want to get back. I want that back. And I don't want to waste years, with possibly Aaron Glenn, from what we see, what
Amen.
I mean?
Amen. And that's the standard the Jets need to have. But I don't know if Woody has that same standard. But I agree with you, Ron. Like, either win enough games where we feel like you're the guy. You get off to a good start. You win some division games. Can you beat New England once? Beat the Bills once? Go 3-3 against the AFC East. Really, can you go 4-2 against the division? Sweep Miami? And then beat New England or Buffalo one time each? Now, the second time that they beat Buffalo and it's week 18, they're playing for nothing. I'd rather not win that game. But we'll see. But you get the point I'm trying to make. It's like, look like you're a real coach. Not like a soft 7 wins because you beat the Bills backups week 18 to finish with a 7-10 record. What good is that? So I'm with you. Good call by Ron to wrap up our first show. We're going to be back this afternoon. Before we get out of here, though, time to declare a winner in our final Azzy Award, a bonus Azzy, if you will, the Lazy and Lackative Award. And the winner is... Where'd the poll go? Here it is. The poll wasn't opening for me. The winner is, did you have any doubt? Charles Eugene M. Gorman, 46% of the vote for Gorman. Beast at 25%. A ham sandwich at 16%. Bobby Midnight at 13%. This award named basically after Gorman. Congrats to Charles on the W. I will talk to you guys at 4 p.m. with Frankie V, recapping today's practice. He's there watching Bailey dominate. So we know Frankie's going to have a heck of a lot to say. Make sure you get your tickets if you're joining us for Jets Dolphins. We got less than 10 tickets left. As Maniac Meetup, October 25th. Go to patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. Sign up so you can get your tickets. Go Jets. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you this afternoon.
I give credit to players who are not lazy. People think I don't want to work. I can't stand lazy people. I just had a bit of a nap not too long ago, too, so that did help. Fuck you.
Hey, Asmaniacs, make sure to hit the like button and keep on supporting the Jake Asman Show.
That's right, Beast. If you don't subscribe to Jake Asman Show, the Jets will never win another game. Go Jets!